Hey guys, what is up? Lefty back here again, and thanks for checking out the video. So first off, I want to say to everybody who's actually watched my previous videos and actually decided to subscribe to my channel, first of all, I want to say thank you, and I appreciate it a lot. I know I haven't really been very active with the channel. Of course, I've been busy with stuff and, got a second job and all that stuff. So it's been a bit hectic, and there really hasn't been too many things to post a video about, but I wanted to make some kind of video with some piece of gear that I could at least talk about, if not give a 100% review, which is, what I like to do. I don't like to review things that I get, so. But anyway, so what I'm going to be talking about today is going to be some sights, and the particular sights that I'm going to be talking about are the Ameriglo IDots. IDot Pros, I should say. There's a couple of differences and stuff like that, but I'm going to be talking about these ones. All right, so let's talk about these sights here. So all metal. Trijicon has made the inserts for the tritium and all that stuff, and I have a very bright orange dot. Now, the reason why I do this is because, well, for one reason, I have terrible eyes. I was blessed with many things, but eyesight was not one of them. I have nearsightedness, and I think astigmatism or some crazy ass fancy shit like that. So basically my eyes have a very hard time focusing on small objects, and so I wear corrective lenses, pretty much every single day. If I do not wear corrective lenses, I can literally not focus on the front sight. This is crystal clear. This is impossible to see. So I definitely need corrective lenses, but even in such perfect scenario with 20/20 vision or whatever those lenses actually give me, having something like this makes it much more easy to actually shoot and to pick up targets and all of this and that. With the factory Glock sights, I can probably shoot a group about like that at about 8-7 yards, something like that. With these sights, just because of the way they're set up, it's much tighter. And as you can see here, I'll try to give you, there it is, my tactical napkin here. I can try to give you a little bit more of a sight picture here. So that's pretty much what you're going to be able to see with these sights here. And they are much more combat focused. They're not really a gamer sight, if you want to say that. They're very similar. If you guys have seen the big dots, that express sight picture where you basically just have kind of a little bit of a divot here, and then you just place this big ass ball right on top of that. It's very similar to that. It kind of borrows from it a lot with the huge orange dot here. But if you guys are also familiar with the Heine straight 8 sights, where you have a dot on the bottom and then a dot right here, when you just place this dot, that is really blurry, I apologize, right above this dot, that's pretty much what your sight picture is going to look like, especially at nighttime. So it's kind of a best of both worlds, in my opinion, because you're getting the accuracy of a traditional notch and post sight, because you can be accurate with the big dots, but just not as, and definitely not as quickly. But it also gives you the speed of which the big dots and the straight 8s give you with that type of sight package. So I'm a really big fan of these sights. Another reason why I'm a really big fan of these sights is because they are super affordable, but they are not cheap in terms of quality. Most aftermarket sights, you go to your Trijicon night sights, or you go to your Heine or whatever, you're going to be paying pretty much over $100, unless you get a completely blacked out front and rear metal. You're probably going to be paying about $65-$70 somewhere around there. These, you can pick these up on Amazon, which is the cheapest where I found them, for about $75, and they usually go up and down between $70 and $80. I've actually picked these ones up for about $65 I pay for those bad boys. So that's a tremendous deal, especially when you're strapped for cash like I am and stuff like that. So these are a great bargain sight if you need to replace your, especially if you're running a Glock. Definitely get rid of those bad boys. But also, they also make stuff for M&Ps and stuff like that. I haven't really looked into too much, because obviously, I only pretty much run M&Ps and Glocks, with the occasional Walther PPQ thrown in there. But otherwise, I'm a Glock guy in and out. So these sights have been on the Glock 23, which is a 40 caliber, as you know, for about, I would say I don't know 100% how many rounds I actually put through the gun. I know I put enough for me. If I had a ballpark it, I would say somewhere in the neighborhood of 1,000 rounds of 40. No problems with any type of shit coming loose or the sights drifting or anything like that. I also do one-handed manipulations off the rear sight. If you people are into that, it does have a really, really good ledge to be able to rack it off a boot or a belt or any type of any piece of clothing or gear that you have on you. So it does very well for that. But like I said, you know, this is a 40, so this is going to be the most taxing weapon that I pretty much own, or at least I have had on these. And I like them so much that I actually have them on every single carry gun I have. This is my Glock 19, as you can see, rocking the same sights. So they're just super affordable. They're super high quality, super nice. You know, as far as I've seen, they're definitely a huge value if people are looking for you know, aftermarket sights, especially for a night sight type application and stuff like that. Also, one thing I forgot to mention when talking about the actual tritium inserts, the front and rear are both green, which I like. I like orange and green. For the color, I should say too, for the front dot, it's kind of a personal preference if you want, you know, green or orange. I would prefer, like I said, with my eyesight, definitely orange. There are far less things that are orange in the everyday scenario compared to green. You know, you got grass, you got trees, you know, you got a whole bunch of stuff. Orange sticks out very well against that background, so that's why I choose orange. But going for the tritium inserts, this tritium insert is definitely a lot more bright than this one, which is pretty nice because it kind of gives you a psychological assistance. I don't know what to talk about. Like a psychological assistance for your sight picture. So, you know, you're supposed to focus front sight, so this will be clear, this will be blurry. That's kind of what it gives you when this is super bright and this is super dim. Your eyes instantly go toward the front side, which is super duper helpful and stuff. So, that's pretty much it. I've rambled on as much as I really want to about these sights. Super good deal, super good amount of value that you can get for these bad boys. So if you guys are in the market for aftermarket sights, I would definitely recommend checking these sights out. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So anyway, thank you guys for watching and be good.